From the beautiful campus of Casper College, it's time to dive into the world of Casper College athletics with another episode of the Casper College Coaches Show. Now here's your host, Phil Kohler.
Welcome fans to the Casper College Coaches Show. I'm your host, Phil Kohler, joined as always by the head coach of the Lady Thunderbirds, Coach Canary. Dwight, what a great season. 29-6 overall. You guys get a big win in the national tournament. You go 1-1 in the NJCAA national tournament. Talk about just how cool that experience was for you.
Just a lot of pride right now.
Yeah, of course.
Just the way the kids have progressed throughout the year, and our team chemistry and the excitement that everybody had for each other on the team. I'm to the age now where winning is very important, always will be, or I should get out of the business. But I want to enjoy the journey too. Yeah. And man, did I enjoy this journey. This was just a tremendous group of kids to work with.
Well, you guys went into the national tournament as the 14th seed. You guys get a matchup with 17 seed Blinn out of Texas. We talked a couple of weeks ago about how this was going to be a really even matchup. It was going to be tough to beat. You guys jump out by 18 at the half, end up winning 72-61. What was it about that first half that got you guys off to such a great start?
I think defensively we got off to a great start. We actually didn't shoot the three very well in that game. I think we were only 3 for 17, and we could have made things a little bit easier for ourselves. But I was extremely pleased with how we played defensively. We had a little bit of a game plan. Our thought was to have them shoot it, and because they were great drivers, great passers when they got inside. They had some good interior play. So, really pleased with our preparation going into that game, and, defensively got us off to the best start.
Yeah, and to that preparation point, we talked 2 weeks ago about how this is the 5th-ranked team in the country in rebounding, but also a team that didn't shoot it very well. So I know that was a lot of your game plan. You guys end up winning the rebounding battle by 12. And then you allowed them to shoot 33s. They only make 6 of them and shoot 18%. Your game plan was executed brilliantly by your kids.
Yeah, there's the key point, the execution, and I could see it developing. You never know because you see them on video, you don't see them in person, so you don't know exactly what you're looking at. But we did emphasize a couple things, and rebounding and blocking out was one of them, and the execution all week of preparation was outstanding there, and I felt pretty confident going into it. And it wasn't just 2 or 3 people that were blocking out well in practice. It was everybody on the roster, and everybody was crashing the board to force us. It's just when things unfold, and to me the preparation and then the execution, that's where it's a lot of fun.
Well, Coach, they say in professional sports that home court advantage or home field advantage is worth 3 points in the NFL or the NBA. Man, your home court advantage on Wednesday was worth way more than that. What a great turnout.
I'm gonna throw myself under the bus. I was a little bit hesitant about hosting the tournament here because it was always, if you're going to go to Salina or Lubbock, it was an adventure and it was a destination, and I'm thinking, man, we lose that. No destination would have replaced the feeling that myself and our team experienced with that tremendous crowd. It was, I'm 95 years old and I got goosebumps. It was, I just know how proud our kids felt and how great they felt. So shout out to our crowd, shout out to Casper community for this. Just going a little bit off script here, I was even equally impressed. I went to the Final Four and I went to the championship, and Casper was still there. They represented it. And great shout out to our community and everybody that put a lot of work in, including you, Zach, into this tournament. Just big shout out.
Yeah. Well, and then, Wednesday with kids being in class, I think almost all the kids, and am I right in the president basically shut down classes for the day and allowed kids to go up and watch the game?
Can you tell me this is not a great place to work? When your leadership understands the moment for a group of their students, and this is an opportunity to provide an experience, and your leadership understands it doesn't matter if it's basketball, but whatever. What a great place to work. We're very fortunate.
Such a huge difference.
Yes.
Well, and so then, Coach, moving on to Thursday, you guys get an opportunity to play the defending national champions, a team that's won 2 out of the last 3 championships. Northwest Florida, they come in as the number 3 seed overall, and you guys jumped out in such a great first half. You guys shoot 9 of 12 from 3 in the first half. You're up 11 at the end of 1, up 9 at half. You had to be feeling great, right?
Well, really, really, really good. We only had a short time period to prepare for them because at this stage there was no advanced preparation for Northwest Florida. So we had less than 24 hours to prepare, and they did a great job there. And when you show the video of how good that team is, and like you explained their history, you worry about, is my team going to be intimidated by this? Because there's a good reason too. That's extreme. There's 3-4 Division I players on that roster. And the answer to that was no. They came out. They knew they belonged. They shot the ball well. There was zero intimidation. There was zero quit in this team. I was very proud of. There was no, oh my gosh, we don't have a chance. And so super proud of the start there.
And the team that goes on to eventually lose in the championship, second best team in the country, very well could have won that championship game as well. But you guys end up falling. Anna Cheney leads the way with 20 points. She makes 5 out of her 8 3-point attempts. I think 5 out of 5 in the first half. Just incredible. Adama Bajikoli had 13 points, 9 rebounds. Andy Schistler kicked in 17. Lutza Axe with 12. Just a team performance. And Coach, losing obviously never fun. You talk about you never want to be on that side of it. But gosh, you got to be proud of the effort.
And that's kind of my philosophy, period. Are you playing up to your potential? The win and losses are going to happen. There's always going to probably be somebody better than you, but did you give it your best shot? Did you? And not just talking about on Thursday, did we do it since August? And all those boxes were checked. Absolutely disappointed because there were some what ifs. I watched the rest of the tournament and, we would have had a shot here.
Absolutely.
We would have had a shot here. We would have had a shot against this team. So you kept going down that line. So, that's disappointing. But always my biggest disappointment at the end of the year is I'll never coach these kids again. Not this group. That is always the hardest part. This is, you're always looking forward to that next game, and it's all focused on there. And then you hit that at the end, and this is it. It's over. And that's the sadness. But sad, yes. Disappointed, no way.
Well, and as a fan, what an enjoyable team to cheer for and go out and support. I mean, that's, as a guy from Casper and somebody that goes to a lot of the games, that's all that we can ask for. We know that you're not going to win every single game, but man, is it fun to go out and support those kids and just really, really good kids.
Well, I appreciate that a lot. They are great kids, and their effort's always great.
So, Coach, you want to get to that point of being that number 1, number 2 team in the nation. What's the next step that you need to take with your teams to kind of get to that point?
I think our biggest challenge when we get to this level is can we match them up player for player athletically? There's a lot of Division I athletes on those teams, and I think that's a little bit of the difference there. And then also you just don't know the style of play. We see a certain style of play in our region, not just Region 9, but with Region 18 and those kind of things. And then you see a different style of play. So, I don't think the gap is very, very big at all. But I would say if there was going to be a gap in there, it would probably that 1 through 10, those top 5, 6, 7 teams, are very athletic, and we don't quite match that sometimes.
Well, and I feel like you proved last week that the gap is not that big. I mean, you guys competed with the number 2 team in the nation. And had your chances down the stretch.
We did, and you can only project, but again, we were close to number 2, and I didn't see anybody else in that tournament that would scare me. Hutch, great team. Congratulations to Hutch. Great team, executed their things well. Seemed like there was no player that really stuck out on their team. They just played, and that's something that we hope for. But anyway, we belonged. We were. I would be comfortable saying we were where we should have been.
And a great season. And Coach, let's give a little bit of a rundown. We'll start with season awards. And I know you hate talking about yourself, but we're going to start there. Conference Coach of the Year, Coach Canary. In your 42 years of coaching, this is your 27th Coach of the Year award. In your 16 years in Casper, this is your 13th year as winning the Sub-Region Championship, 6th Region 9 Championship, 7th appearance in the national tournament. Logan Alvar heading down to Wyoming next year will be your 34th player that played for you transferring to a Division I school. Coach, I mean, that is like incredible, Coach. There's no other words for it.
I appreciate that, and I say it all the time. It is not coach speak. It is the truth. that should be a team award because there is, I'm sure I play a role in it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it is, we are all one piece of the pie. No piece is bigger than the other, and it's my responsibility to do my piece. But there's so many people in the gym that play a role in that. There's so many people that are in the building here right now, our administration, our community, all those kind of things. So to me, it is, I'm in a position to be successful. I'm giving the opportunity to be successful, and I appreciate that greatly. Coach Macy deserves a ton of credit too and stuff, but it's always a bit humbling to be recognized by your peers, because in Region 9 there's a lot of great coaches.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of good young coaches coming up. So to get that recognition, I'm not going to lie, it does feel like an accomplishment because I know the quality there, but I am not naive. I know Dwight Ganeri isn't anything special.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of things to be successful, and we have those here at Casper
Well,
College.
and you say Dwight Ganeri is not special, but the thing that you have built here is special, and it has been special, and it's really impressive, and I hope the people of Casper realize how special it's been, and just reading off of these accomplishments, I hope that they can see that what you've done here has been really special.
It's great, and I always go back to my interview 16 years ago, and there was a lot of candidates that wanted this job, and I just really felt like we could build a program here with our resources that the community and the college would be proud of, and when the day comes, I hope to walk out that door and say I fulfilled that promise. Sure. And so I am happy. I'm pleased with the success that we've had here, and I hope our community and our campus feels that way.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk all-conference players. Andy Schisler, Logan Alvar, both named all-conference. Andy, 13 points per game on the season, 42% from three. A kid that kind of flew under the radar on the recruiting trail, but, man, she's been really good for you.
Yeah, I think in the region here, she was pretty well. People were aware of. I know she was recruited by other Region 9s and some D2 programs in there. That under the radar is no longer in existence.
No, absolutely not.
Great player.
Yeah.
She plays the game with a smile on her face. Yeah. There's players that you can tell enjoy just about every phase of the game and every step in it. And Andy's always got a smile. She's just a treat to coach. Great first year for us.
Yeah. Well, so then the other player, Logan Alvar from Casper, of course, what a great supporting cast that she has. The amount of fans that come out to watch her specifically has been so much fun to watch this year. She averages 11 points per game, 6 rebounds a game, 2.4 assists, a tick up from everything statistically last year. She scored double figures 39 times in her 2 years here, and she is the best kid in the world. I mean, there's not enough good things to say about Logan.
You can't nail them all, and just been a pleasure, and I feel very, very privileged I think Logan could have went a lot of different places, and a lot of times, getting out to experience new things can be very attractive, especially a senior in high school and stuff like that, and the fact that she chose to come here and play is just, she's been just such a pleasure to coach. Her family and extended family there has been just great for our program, great for our kids. Those 2 years coaching Logan flew by, but they were totally enjoyable.
Absolutely. So then all-conference defensive team, Anna Cheney. We talked off camera. I feel like Anna could have very easily have been an all-conference player as well. If they gave out a Sixth Person of the Year award, she definitely would have had that. 9.2 points per game, 36% from three. Made a three-point attempt in 30 games in her career. I mean, talk about Anna a little bit.
Just everything, all the components. She gets recognized for the defensive piece, rightfully so.
Yeah.
I think her defense abilities is her ability to focus on what she needs to do. We a lot of time would give our toughest matchup to Anna, and she would understand that individual strength, weaknesses, and what she needed to do to limit it. But you're right, her game goes way beyond the defense. Her basketball IQ is tremendous. There's certain things when you explain a concept, there's certain players that you can tell it resonates with them, and she understands what you're saying, and it makes sense to her. Definitely Anna, great IQ, great future ahead of her.
Absolutely. So then all Region 9 tournament team, Andy Schisler, Anna Cheney, Logan Alvar, Irene, and then Lutza Axe was left off of the list. I'm going to put her on there because the championship game, she absolutely deserved it. Just a team performance. I mean, you look at a lot of the teams that you played and a lot of teams that played in that tournament, a couple of really good individual performances. but you had a team performance.
It was, and that's, again, the way I would prefer it. You probably listed 5 or 6 different individuals, at least throughout the year, as far as being statistically on top in that particular game or week and stuff like that. And it's not consistently one individual, and I think that's what makes our team a team.
Yeah.
There's a long list of individuals that I think are deserving of awards and stuff. So that's one of the things that I really appreciated. There was nobody that was after stats or anything like that. They were just after the win and success.
Well, and we're going to come back to that in just a second, but we want to certainly mention Logan Alvar, all NJCAA national tournament team, 16 points per game, 8 rebounds per game in her 2 games, an incredible accomplishment. I was sitting there Monday night at the championship game and listening to Coach Macy get her on the phone so that she could be there to accept that. I mean, what an incredible performance from a great player on a big-time stage.
I really wished I could have got the word out to the crowd. You know, everybody after the game left, but we had a lot of good Casper contingency there, and it would have really been cool there. But so deserving. She for the whole tournament experience, she had enjoyed, but that darn first game on Wednesday.
Oh gosh.
She in front of her family, in front of her hometown, in front of her, high school friends, etc.
Sure.
What a great deal. She was very deserving of that award for sure.
No doubt. So back to that piece of the team effort, Coach. I mean, outside of the 7 or 8 players that played on the team, you had such a great buy-in from the entire roster. And so, outside of all of these accomplishments, what do you feel like you were most proud of?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because, we mentioned the leaders in the statistic game. There is no way we win 29 games. There is no way that we're Region 9 championships and we get to the Sweet 16 in the national tournament without every single individual. I honestly believe our preparation for games throughout the whole year plays a huge role in whether we win or lose. And every single individual plays a big part in there. Whether they're playing or not, their focus on getting our team ready, it was no different. You would not know. And I understand and appreciate how tough that is. Yeah. But there's no way if our team would have had the success without the effort for the ones that don't get significant minutes.
Sure.
They're great job. They deserve as much credit, if not more, than any single individual.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, last question for you. We move into the off season now. We're kind of beautiful day outside today. Yes. We're kind of getting into summer.
Yep.
What's the biggest challenge facing you in the program this summer and preparing for next season?
It's always putting the final pieces of the puzzle to your next roster, and we that's an ongoing thing. But we still have pieces. We're not sure 100% of everybody that's going to be back next year right at this point in time. But, always number one is getting your roster set. And that can stay, that can go all the way into June and July. Sometimes it's rare, but it can. Scheduling is important. Administrative things are important. And so, the shift is not as demanding right now. I did look at my golf clubs on the way out of the garage today, but that's all the further I got. They're not in the vehicle yet. Yeah. So there's hopefully some opportunity for that and some family time and travel time and stuff. But, it is, I mean, immediately you have to shift to the next phase and constructing our roster for next year is number one. Yeah.
Well, and your South Carolina Gamecocks, your pick at the start of the tournament, still alive in the Final Four. They knocked off my Hoosiers last weekend. Are you sticking with them, or?
I am.
Yeah.
I just think it's Coach Staley has done just a tremendous job there, and I know it's hard to go undefeated. Ask Hutch, but they pulled it off. I am, but the one that I'm kind of intrigued by is UConn kind of snuck. Everybody's talking about LSU and Iowa and South Carolina, and Gino's saying, well, wait a minute,
I've been here once or twice.
I got a couple good players or two, so they could be the sleeper in the tournament. It's going to be a good Final Four. And what really intrigues me, I hear so many basketball fans, not women's basketball fans, but basketball fans talking about the women's game. I've known it for decades. They play a great brand of basketball, and I totally enjoy coaching it. So it's really, really, really cool to see the growth, and that just means more opportunities for future. You know, our second and third graders that are on travel teams already on there, that just increases their future, and hopefully it motivates them. So I'm selfishly pulling for South Carolina just because I picked them, but I'm just really, really excited about the growth of women's basketball.
Well, and when I was growing up, it was everybody wanted to be 23 for Michael Jordan. You talk about these young girls that are wearing Caitlin Clark's number now, and she's the next one up. Like, I mean, it's pretty cool.
It is, and there's a lot. You know, we hear a lot of Caitlin, but Juju, you know. And, And you know, there's so many profile players out there. They can not only pick the skill set that they want to idolize, but even the person. You know, which is kind of cool. So I love the state that women's basketball is in.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, really appreciate all season long. I love being just a small piece of this. I love getting a chance to come and talk basketball with you every week. So certainly appreciate you and everything that you've done for this program and Casper in general. And
well, back at you, Phil, because I get a lot of positive feedback. There's you know, this element wasn't here before. You picked it up and did it, and appreciate you, Zach, for taking the time to do it. But it helps our growth of our program. There's views out there, and there's people that listen, and there's people that make fun of me as I'm, and I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. But no, appreciate you. I know this is a time constraint for you, and you put a lot of donated volunteer time in it, just in your preparation and stuff. So thank you.
Yep. Well, I love doing it, and again, another shout out, Zach Nagy. Really appreciate all the work behind the scenes that you do. And fans, remember, always shoot for the stars, because even if you miss, there's always a chance for an offensive rebound. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you, big guy.
Great job.
A lot.
Great job.
Appreciate.